source. Imagine going through the day looking for an opportunity to do invisible and random acts of kindness. And what the guide says is, this isn't about the acts. The acts don't matter. Your attitude matters. Your intention matters. Your intention matters even if you reach out to do something and get thwarted. It doesn't matter that you don't complete the task. It matters from a spiritual perspective that you tried, because in the spirit world, because they have more dimensions than we do, in the spirit world, a positive intention extended is already done. Not only that, the guide says it has a concrete form. That in a spirit dimension, your positive intention creates a spiritual matter. It's real. And the spirit world can see it. It has color, form, shape. That's how powerful.
I've noticed the need to get credit for doing something, sort of like an end zone celebration.
Mm-hmm. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. It depends on what your habits are. So this is just a list of maybe things. But going through the day trying to change one attitude can be like taking a holiday from who you have been. And it is devastatingly effective in showing you that you don't have to. So teasing about your first reaction, turning off the news, amazingly enough, watching the television does not help. You know, it's not about helping. It's about us. So if you take a day off and you refresh yourself, perhaps when you come back again, you'll have a refreshed mind and you'll be able to see things from a different perspective. And the last one, number 11, is daily review. Take some time every day to consider the emotional situations and decisions you made, to consider where you would have done things differently had you applied your higher self with more energy or enthusiasm. Again, that is not meant to create judgment. The intention is to encourage looking at what was and seeing that there were other choices. And once you allow those other choices as possibility, it's like letting light into a dark room. The next time a situation like that comes up, you might consider acting differently. It's in your consciousness that there's an alternative. So anyway, that's one of the many chessboard games that I create. A bizarre sense of humor.
It's interesting to be aware in a moment, reading over this list and imagining doing them, the resistance that shows itself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. In theory, it's so simple. And somebody asked before about the rules. I love spiritual law, and I love that one-page digest. I think it's fabulous, not because it's everything, because it was never meant to be everything, but there are 9 of them. I wonder if perhaps they thought, don't do a 10th because it'll look too religious. But there are 9 of them. And
is that on your website? Is that what you said? That
yes.
One is on.
The title of the piece is PC10, and it's available from, it's not on the internet yet through the main Pathwork website.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to do a 30-second commercial for them because they are just about ready to release a new CD that has the Path to the Real Self on it, which I use a lot in my teaching, that has a lot of these PC lectures, that has the question and answer lectures, that if you read through the numbers, that are on the website, you'll notice that there are numbers that aren't there. And unbeknownst to you, we have A, B, C, and D versions of those lectures because there were question and answer periods that went on for weeks afterwards.
Oh.
But they were about the same topic, so they were called Q&As. So
Mm-hmm.
there's 250, and then there's 250A, and then there's 250B. Okay? And when they first put the lectures on the web, it was only so much time and money. Spirituality doesn't pay. So they left off the more unknown material. And they're now ready to put that out. It's going to come out on a CD. And I'm thrilled. I will buy my own copy. They're $59.95. I think it's a deal. I want to support Pathwork. And so it would have a lot of references that I work with are not lecture references, and I do that not to show off, I hope, but because you can get the lectures off the Internet. So I'm trying to bring something to the table in addition to that. So I tend to have a lot of these materials that I bring so that you'll know they exist and you'll get copies of them, or at least, 2-page versions of them.
Yeah.
But they're going to be putting out the whole version. So that's the International Pathwork Foundation commercial from Pathwork Press, excuse me. So the document that I'm talking about is called PC10, and I do offer it on my website. And it is a one-page digest that was created by the first helpership class that Ava created. The reason I love it is it's fairly simple and straightforward. And what I advise people to do is take that list of spiritual principles and go down it like Harry was teasing about this list. Now, that's look good. Eight irritates me. I don't want to do 8. Well, then maybe 8 is what you need to do. Same thing with spiritual principles. Read down the list and wait until you say, what?
Yeah,
That
it's always
doesn't make
those. Yeah.
And
It's always
that's
those you don't want to do that you need to do.
right. That might tell you the one you're breaking.
Yeah.
Okay? The other thing about the spiritual principles is that in a very wonderful circular yin-yang kind of way, if you break one, you break them all. And when I teach these, I have people, try to do devil's advocate and say, no, I can hate myself. I'm very kind to other people. I only hate myself. Well, that violates the law of brotherhood, and that's all there is to it. Why? Because you're one of us.
Yeah.
You don't get to self-select out the individual who's bad and wrong and put all your blame onto them and say, but that's okay because I don't blame anyone else. You can't do that. Okay? Now, if you blame if you break the law of brotherhood, the list is endless of all the other laws you break.
Yeah.
That's pretty foundational right there. So it's interesting to see in the phrasings what is a particular challenge for you. And it's interesting to see in how the law of brotherhood, for instance, is tied in directly to the law of cause and effect. So let me play with this for one more second. So I only hate me, not you, and I have the right to hate somebody, so leave me alone. I'm not breaking any rules. So yes, you're breaking the law of brotherhood, but you're also breaking the law of cause and effect. And this is where you need this behind-the-scrim material. You really can't operate in a spiritual realm without that extra dimension. Because when you hate someone, you are creating hate energy. And even if you can't see it, it's being spit out into the room. And because it is in your home, in your business, among your friends, it will affect them. And ultimately, they will affect you. So the law of cause and effect, if you put out hatred against one person, including yourself, that negativity is going to come back at you. A double dose if it's you. But can you see how if you utilize these principles rather than human laws of justice. If somebody gets off, if somebody breaks the law and gets off, we become furious. But he didn't